Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my team selection for game week 4. We're going to look at the captaincy, choices, and we're going to look at the transfers that are brought in for game week 4. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's take a look. So to understand the transfers that I'm going to make and my captaincy decisions, we need to look at my team as it currently stands here on screen. I'm pretty happy with the start I've made. It was even better before game week 3. I took a bit of a red arrow in game week 3. But given that I finished just over 200k last year, overall in FPL the year before that just over 20k, I haven't had a strong start. So I feel in a good position right now. I have 2 free transfers. I got rid of Pedro last week. I brought Nicholas Jackson in, which worked out well, but that has given me no money in the bank whatsoever. So with 2 transfers, I would love, I think, to roll one of these transfers over into game week 5. You've got the international break in game week, just after game week 4, plus the transfer deadline closes after game week 4 deadline closes. So I'll be able to react to that. But I'll weigh that up with possibilities of getting more points, so I might end up doing 2 transfers. That's the intention right now. What I talked to you about, though, obviously I reserve the right to change my mind at any given moment, as FPL managers often do at the last minute. So I'm looking in pretty good position. The way the side then would line up for game week 4 is the fixtures look pretty decent. I do have Rashford and Onana, 2 Man United players away at Arsenal. Vice versa, we've got Arsenal at home to Man United. Saka and Odegaard don't particularly worry me too much. I think Arsenal are pretty good against anyone. Estepinian, he does offer such attacking threat that even the fact that he hasn't had clean sheets, he's still getting lots of points. The problems I guess I have is James is out. Lewis is not starting many games. He started the first one, then hasn't the last 2. Foden didn't start one either, so that's given me a little bit of a headache. And Mwamba up front as well isn't being involved. So I'm running pretty thin. So can I get away perhaps with just one player, 3 players not playing and still getting a full 11 out? That is a consideration. This is how the side would shape up with no transfers, but I do have 2 free transfers. So I've got to make at least 1, otherwise I'm going to lose it. Lewis, the good news I think about the Man City side is he often just will not make substitutions. When they got pegged back at Sheffield United, he did bring on Foden and he got the assist despite only coming on the 86 minutes. That was great news. But other than that, if Lewis doesn't start, rarely will he just come on. So I'm happy to start him. If he doesn't play, then obviously Rashford would come in. But Rashford's got some fixtures that I'm not particularly keen to get on at the moment. He's done all right in the last game. He is all the money, and there's just so many good midfield options, which we'll look at in a second, that I'm not sure I want to keep him. So let's bear it in mind, the midfield options we've got. I do think it's worth going through some of those players. Mbomo looks really good. His fixtures look decent, as the likes of Maddison as well, and Sterling, who I've talked about in previous videos. Rashford I already own. There's Eze as well, and Matoma. Now I've already got Rashford and Matoma. I'm not keen on getting rid of Matoma. I'm happy to play him against Newcastle and Man United away. I think that's okay. Rashford away at Arsenal, but Brighton at home. Ordinarily, yeah, I would think there'd be decent fixture. I don't mind playing him. But given that he's that much more expensive and there's such better, well, as equally good options, I think, out there, I think Rashford's going to have to go. Maddison's got 2 good fixtures coming up. But Sterling is the one. Now, the only reason I'd get Sterling in, or could get Sterling in, is if I have to lose a Chelsea asset. Now, I don't have the luxury. I've brought Jackson in and Chilwell's already out. I'm not intending to bring them out. So the one player that would come in for me, would come out, is James, to get Sterling in. And a Dougie is the one that I think I would end up bringing in. He's got 2 decent fixtures coming up. Now that seems like quite a decent bench to have. So the way I'd work it is to think, as Dougie would come in to the side, I would drop Estepinian and Matoma at home to Newcastle, and I'd end up playing Saka, Odegaard, Foden, Sterling, and forward across back. Now if Lewis doesn't play, there's a very good chance he won't, then Matoma will come in for him instead of Estepinian. And that's how the side would pan out. In terms of captaincy, I just cannot look anywhere else other than Haaland. If I didn't have Haaland in the side and I'd be desperate to get him in, possibly I'll be looking at someone, maybe Sterling or Jackson. I'm not sure. I think Fernandes would possibly be on penalties for Chelsea still. That's a little bit unsure. But without Haaland, I'm absolutely not prepared in game week 4 with a decent rank to start punting around at different players to try and get a differential. Haaland's on penalties, playing for Man City. He has to be the captain. There's no other choices for me for that. Onana and Turner is an interesting one. I don't think either of them are going to get a clean sheet. I just think maybe for Onana save points, and possibly I'd say they have a slightly better chance of keeping a clean sheet, even without the likes of Shaw and Varane, than Forrest do away at Chelsea. So I would go for Onana on that basis of save points as well. I think it's a good side that I've got. The other alternative is that I don't bring Sterling in, I keep James, and then I just bring in James Maddison for Rashford, and then I wait to see if James is fit for game weeks 5 and 6. That's a consideration. Until Sterling did quite well in game week 3, I was happy to hold on to James, but now Sterling suddenly kind of hitting some form and got those returns. His stats were always pretty good. I do feel it's a great time to bring him in, and those long-term Chelsea fixtures look too good to ignore. I don't think Maddison's a bad call, and I do think Mbeumo's a good call as well, but he's not worth me taking a hit. But if you've already got the likes of Sterling, Odegaard, maybe, or Saka, yeah, I can see why Mbeumo would be a great call. He's someone I still think would be a good idea to bring in. But that's how my team sets up for game week 4, and that's my intentions at the time of recording of playing them. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who you intend to bring in for game week 4, and are there any other players that you would consider captaining other than Erling Haaland. We'll come back at you over the international break. We have a little bit of a gap now. We'll bring you team selection videos, watch lists, all that good stuff. So don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, good luck with game week 4, and I shall see you soon.